So are you ready with your solution? How was the test, students? It was good. That's nice. Do mention in the comment section whether you were able to attempt the question after seeing the revision lectures. I think everything was covered in the lectures, right? So do mention in the comment section about your test papers, the marks that you secured, and whether your writing skills are improving. If you're watching this video for the first time, we are conducting a test series for all the acts of CA inter corporate and other laws. If you have missed the previous test series and the revision lectures, I'm leaving a link of the playlist. You can watch the videos later. Yes. So quickly, let us discuss the solution, and I will also give you the marking scheme. Students, if you want the revision notes as well as the test papers with marking scheme, then the link is given in the description box. You can access the revision notes as well as the paper solution with the marking scheme. Just click on that link. All right. Test paper 2 was on Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. We discussed the act earlier. A draws a bill on B. Just zoom, not required. Okay, A draws a bill on B, B accepts the bill without consideration. Whenever you get this type of question, always write, okay, draw a diagram. Now, A draws a bill on B. Okay, A draws a bill on B. B accepts it without consideration. Okay, there's no consideration. The bill is then transferred to C without consideration, so there's no consideration here also, but C transfers to D for value, so there is consideration over here. Now you have to decide whether D can sue the prior parties of the bill. Okay, here D is a holder in due course. Yes, we discussed this when I was discussing the privileges of a holder in due course. So D will become a holder in due course because he has accepted the instrument for consideration. So there is consideration, it is a valid contract. He can file a case against any prior party. Okay, he can file case against any prior party. Then the second thing which they have asked, whether prior parties other than D, okay, other than D, whether prior parties other than D can sue each other. Do you remember the triangle which I had drawn? Yes. So A, B and C, they cannot sue each other because there's no consideration which passes between them, no consideration, no contract. So no, they cannot sue each other. Now, what will you write? In the first paragraph, you will write section, the act to which the section relates, and explain the provisions. So you can give the heading as provisions. You can write provision, you can write facts, and then explain section 43 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. It says that instrument made, drawn, accepted, endorsed, or transferred without consideration, or for consideration that fails, creates no obligation between the parties. But if the party has transferred with or without endorsement to a holder for consideration, then that holder and any subsequent holder will be able to recover the money from from the transferor for consideration. It means D can recover it from C or any prior party, that is A in this case, or even B. All right. Now, the model answer which you can see are the exact legal wordings of section 43. I'm not expecting you to write everything word to word. Okay. So even if you have written it in your own words, it is sufficient. But please note, students, there are three things which are important over here. One is the section number. The second thing which is important is that it does not create any right between the parties inter se. Then the third point which they have written, that D will be able to recover the amount from C, A or B. So these are the 3 points which you have to cover in the first paragraph. If you have written the section number correctly, give yourself half mark. This is a 5-mark question. So if I was the examiner, I would give like maybe 1.5 mark, or maybe just 1 mark for this one, and remaining 3 I would give to the provisions, because mostly it is important for you to write and identify the correct provisions. So half mark if you have written the section number correctly, 1.5 mark if or maybe, you know, we can say 2.5 over here to give you exact marking scheme. 2.5 for theory, 1 okay, and maybe half mark extra. So half mark for writing the section number, half 1 mark for writing the provision, 1 mark for writing the second provision, and then 1.5 for writing the first provision and 1 mark for the second one. All right. So in the problem, A has drawn the bill on B, later they transfer to D. So this is actually just providing information. You will not get marks for this. You won't get marks for writing this. This is just repeating the question. According to provisions, the bill ultimately has been transferred to D with consideration. Therefore, D can sue any prior party A, B, or C as he, yes, this is important. He has a good title. I'll underline it with red. He has a good title as he has taken it with consideration. Okay, so this is important, not writing the question again. The second part of this part is more important. Okay, this part, I would give marks for this part, not writing the facts again. You're just writing the facts to arrive at the solution. Then as regards the second part, he has no right inter se because there is no consideration, therefore there is no contract, no obligations because you have not received it for consideration. Okay, so they have no right of action inter se, but yes, the one who takes it for consideration will have right. So give 2.5 marks if you have written this. You can write it in your own words, don't worry. So 2.5 mark. Now half mark I gave for section number, 1 mark for writing the provision, 2.5 mark you can divide among those two sub questions. C issues a check for 55 lakhs in favor of D. So every time you get this question, always write it in the diagram form. He gives a check, amount here is not important. C has sufficient money, but the check is not presented within reasonable time. Immediately you should be able to recollect that this relates to section 84. Okay, the check was not presented within a reasonable time to the bank, and in the meantime the bank became bankrupt. Okay, he had sufficient money but the bank became bankrupt. So in the first paragraph you will write the provisions. This is also provision, this is also the theory part of it. So most of the marks will be given to the theory part, and of course then the solution. So over here the check was not presented within reasonable time. The drawer suffers damage. What damage? See, if D would have presented the check within reasonable time, he would no longer remain a creditor in C's book. Now what has happened that D has not presented the check on time, the bank has become bankrupt. So over here you cannot claim that money again from C. C is discharged. It is as if he has received the money. So what is reasonable time? That also can be defined. What is reasonable depends upon the trade customs of the bankers. It depends on the nature of the instrument as well as the facts of the case. So drawer will get discharged, but the holder will be treated as the creditor of the bank. So in simple words, D can recover money from the bank, not C, but the bank. So C has suffered damage because the instrument was not presented within reasonable time. This is the solution for which you will get marks. C will be discharged, but the creditor can recover the amount from the bank. So 2 marks if you have written the theory properly. So over here 1.5 mark for writing the main provision section number, and I would give 1 mark for writing the meaning of reasonable notice. What is reasonable time? So 2.5 marks are done. 1.5 mark for writing solution. So that divides 1, 2, 3 and 4 marks. Okay, 1.5 for writing solution. In that you can repeat the question, but I would mostly give marks for this part. You know, he is considered as creditor of the bank, but drawer is discharged. Discuss whether the following can be considered as holder. This is also an exam question. X who obtains a check drawn by Y by way of gift, is he a holder? What are the 3 requirements of holder? What are the 3 essential elements? Yes. First is he should have entitlement. He should be entitled. Second is that it must be in his own name and he must be in possession of the instrument. Do we need to explain the meaning of holder? No, it's not required because it's a 3 mark question. Okay, so 1 mark is actually for each of these 3 parts. But you don't want your paper to be just ordinary, right? You want your paper to be extraordinary. You want to stand out from the crowd. Okay, so in that case, always writing something extra, not a lot. Okay, writing something extra will definitely give you an edge. So over here we will first explain what is the meaning of holder. We will just write the characteristics. One is that he must be entitled. Second is that he should have in possession and own name. All right, so these are the 3 requirements. Now applying this, yes, in the case of gift he is considered as a holder. Just write, give 1 mark for this, 1 mark for each point, and this is your bonus. Bonus means this will impress the examiner, this will impress the examiner. So yes, he's a holder because even if it is a gift, you are entitled to that instrument. It is in your name. You have the possession. Will he be considered as a holder in due course? Tell me. Extra question. Will he be considered as holder in due course? Because there is no consideration. Yes. Okay. M, who finds a check payable to bearer on the road and retain it. He's a finder. No, because finder does not have entitlement. There's no entitlement. Okay. B, who steals a check. Thief. Here also, he doesn't have entitlement. He cannot file case in his own name. So no, he's not a holder. He's in wrongful possession. This is a very good word which you can write, wrongful possession. It's a good term. I think this should be present in your answer. It will show that you have used legal terms in the answer. Then let us discuss multiple choice question. The first one is that if the instrument is payable to order. I know order can be negotiated by endorsement and delivery. What about bearer instrument? Just delivery. Yes. Mr. Ilam issued a check on 2nd February to Mr. Gandhi, who deposited the check on 16th, but it was dishonored on 17th. This is important date for us, 17th. So the check was dishonored on 17th of March. Insufficient funds. So he issued a notice asking for the funds. That notice was given on 31st of March. Now, students, after dishonor, notice must be given within 30 days. Okay? Notice must be given within 30 days. It was received on 2nd April, but he failed to make payment. So what is the last date by which Mr. Gandhi should have made a complaint in the court? After giving notice, you can make complaint within 30 days. Okay. So what is the timeline? Check is dishonored. Within 30 days, send notice. After notice, within 30 days, file a complaint in the court. So total we have 60 days, right? So 60 days from 17th of March, the date on which the check is dishonored. So dishonor plus 30 days notice plus 30 days complaint. So 60 days, which comes to 17th of May. So for 17th March to 17th April, 17th of May. Okay. As for the negotiable instruments, if the date is on a public holiday, maturity date is a public holiday, then the instrument will be due on next preceding day. Preceding matlab before. So let's say that your maturity is on 15th of August, which is Independence Day. So the next preceding business day, okay, I'm assuming 14th, preceding, before. And if it is a Saturday or something like that, not a business day, then previous 13th, okay. So this, now 1 mark for each. So 1 over here, 1 here, and 1 here. Just total your marks, and in the comment section write down the total. Tell me how much have you scored. And students, please attempt these test papers. They will boost your confidence. I will keep uploading more test papers for the other acts, but if you follow the timetable properly, you will complete law before month end. Okay, so my aim is that you should score very good marks in law. So you can visit my website theorymasterslearning.com for test series. We have test papers for full course. You can go for the 100 marks prelim paper, and there will be a counseling mentoring session for you. If you want proper answers for such questions, you can visit my website theorymasterslearning.com and check the book CA Intercompiler Law Bomb. You will get all MTP, RTP, study material questions, everything arranged unit wise. It's an excellent book if you want to score exemption. Many students keep asking me, ma'am, what is the strategy to score excellent marks, exemption? That is the strategy. Solve the compiler and you will be sorted. The entire paper will come from that book only, and we have an offer on that book. So do check out that offer by visiting my website theorymasterslearning.com and subscribe to your channel Theory Masters Learning, because I'm going to come up with revision lectures for all the remaining acts plus test series.